Hey guys, I am filming from my phone today because I really don't have access to my computer. Obviously my background is different because I am no longer living where I was living. There were some issues over there, and instead of her getting a eviction, she decided to get a restraining order against me. Because I was trying to seek treatment for my mental health. So there's that. That's why my 1,000th K subscriber video was taken down. Because I don't want to do anything that's going to bring attention to her business. I don't want anything to do with her if she's going to stoop to that level. So I am currently kind of couch hopping. I'm going later today to look at some apartments, and I'm hoping that works out really well. I think probably the worst part of this whole thing is that last night my guinea pig, Ishka, passed away. I'm still kind of trying to come to grips with it. I took her to the vet the night before, on the 17th. And they told me that she had a really high fever, she had pneumonia. And I couldn't afford to keep her in hospital, and I figured, like, that's my baby, so I can do better somehow than what these vets can. And so I brought her here, and they had me give her critical care. Let me move away from this lawnmower real quick. They had me give her critical care, which is like an all-in-one nutrient supplement for guinea pigs and like small herbivores, and some antibiotics. And so I got home, tried to feed her. She only wanted to take like 8 mils. I was supposed to give her 25, but she just was fighting me, and I just knew she didn't have it in her to fight so hard. So I put the rest of it in the fridge. And she had antibiotics at the hospital, and then yesterday morning before work I gave her antibiotics, and then tried to feed her again, but she only took like 5 mils, and then she jumped up on her little house and started eating solid food. So I figured she's doing fine. She has to be. She's eating solid food. Look at her, like she's fine. And that was not the case. When I came home, she just seemed to be like breathing really heavy, and I took her out of her cage to feed her. I laid her on a yellow towel, and she kind of squirmed a little bit, and then she wasn't really like having it, like trying to feed her with these syringes, and it was like she was like trying to run away from herself, and she was trying to like, get away from the situation. And I'd pick her up and then put her back on the towel, and she'd just kind of like flop over, and she's never laid like that before. She's never just like kind of flopped over, and I got really scared. And my friend was sitting here, and I told her, I was like, I can't transport her like this. I can't, like, I need to take her back to the vet, but the vet was like 30 minutes away, and I knew I couldn't do that to her, and I didn't want her to pass in the car. So like, I kind of knew what was going on, but I just didn't want to admit it, because when I took her to the vet on the 17th, they said she has pneumonia and the prognosis does not look good, and the most humane thing may be to put her down. And I didn't have the heart to do it, because I didn't want her to leave me in a vet's office with drugs in her system causing it, I guess. But I also didn't want her to suffer from pneumonia. So she just kind of like flopped over and she took a couple of breaths and she laid there for a minute and then she stopped moving. And I told my friend, I'm like, I don't think she's alive anymore. And there's a vet right up the street, but they don't see guinea pigs. And all I could do was take her up there and just ask them, like, can you tell me if she's alive or not? And they said that unfortunately there was no heartbeat. So there's that. And I don't really know how to handle pet loss because to me she wasn't a pet, she was my kid. I'm like staring at her cage is still sitting here, like. And I talked to the vet and asked them, because I have this unopened bag of critical care and I know it's so important that, you know, small herbivores, when they need this nutrient, that they're able to get it, and I don't want to waste this unopened bag. And so I asked the vet, do you guys take any kind of donations? They also do pet boarding. And I asked them if they take donations, and they said that they do. So I'm gonna donate her hay and her bedding and her pellets and her treats to this animal hospital because they were just so amazing with how they treated me and how they treated her, and they were so kind. I have to put my phone down, like, that's why I have pop sockets, but clearly I'm not using them. But they were so incredibly kind to me and so incredibly kind to her. And I just feel like that's the best thing, is to donate her stuff. I don't want to throw it away. I want it to go to good use. I want her stuff to be used and loved and appreciated. I don't know, I'm just like, I should be getting ready for therapy right now because I have therapy at 10:30 today, and like, I kind of don't want to leave. I know I have to, but I kind of don't want to because, like, I'm so used to waking up and her peeking out of her little house, and like, what if I miss it, you know? And it's weird because I have this super strange mix of emotions where it's like I feel so much sadness and so much brokenness from not having her with me anymore, and so much heartache knowing that she had to suffer and there wasn't anything that I could have done about it, but so much happiness that she waited until I was here for her to leave, because it was within minutes of me walking in the door. But also I feel this really, really strange sense of relief because I felt like for the past few years, ever since we left Florida, I felt like I wasn't fit to take care of her, like I wasn't doing good enough. I felt like there was so much more I could have done for her, and I felt so bad because, you know, places we stayed were cold, or places we stayed were, you know, too hot, or places that we stayed, like at Cheryl's house, it wasn't safe because there were mice in the room, and she cut off power to the room on the day that she had me served. So it was so hot in the room, and I'm sure that contributed to Ishka being sick. And I feel so horrible that I wasn't able to do more for her. But this weird sense of relief that now I don't have to worry about her. I don't have to worry about, you know, where is her next meal gonna come from? How can I keep her safe? Like, everywhere we've stayed, it's always been, I can't have Ishka. I have to take care of Ishka. Even not going and seeking treatment the other day like I should have. I can't have Ishka. I have to take care of Ishka. She's my baby. And with everything else going on in my life right now, this was like the last thing that I needed, was to lose my kid. And I know saying that an animal is a child or saying an animal is a kid is really offensive to people who have actual human children. But in my case, Ishka was my baby. Ishka is my baby. Ishka is my child. Because I can't have children. And so she means the absolute world to me, and to not have her anymore is heartbreaking. And I keep looking over at it, like, I miss her so much. And I just feel like this is the absolute worst my life has ever been. And I don't know how to get through it, and I want so bad to be able to come on here and tell you guys, I did it, I got through it, everything's perfect, like, watch the adventures of me and my guinea pig, but it's like, she's gone, and now it's just me. And this is the most alone I've ever been in my whole life. I've always had her. Since everything started to go downhill in 2012, she's been right there with me. And I even messaged Jonathan's mom on Facebook, and I let her know, hey, Ishka's really sick. And I know it's probably weird to hear from me after so long and with circumstances and everything, but I would feel horrible if I didn't tell the other side of her family. Like, that's still her family. I didn't tell them anything aside from the fact that Ishka was sick. So they don't know, and I'm not gonna tell them because they couldn't even be bothered to talk to me and see how I was doing. They couldn't be bothered. I don't know. I don't want to keep bringing so much like negativity and stuff to my channel, but you guys, I don't know what to say at this point. I really don't. And I remember Daniel had told me one time I was crying and I kept like wiping them away. And he was like, why are you doing that? This was like in happy times, obviously. And he was like, why are you doing that? And I was like, because I don't want people to see me crying. And he told me that crying is one of the most pure releases of emotion. And you shouldn't ever wipe away your tears because, like, your soul needs them for cleansing or something like that. I don't know. But that's where I'm at. This, like, people show joy by laughing, people show sadness by crying, but I think there's such a stigma in our society of crying and being sad that we just kind of don't, or we just really quickly like wipe it all away. And I try not to wipe away my tears anymore. Like, I'm sad, I'm mourning, I'm allowed to be sad, and I'm allowed to mourn. I'm allowed to have a broken heart because my child is gone. I'm allowed to hurt over this. And I know that. It's really, really hard to accept that she's not going to be with me for any more of my travels. It's really hard to accept that she's not going to fly with me anymore. She's not going to go on road trips with me anymore. I'm not going to be able to see her cute little face when I get home from work. It's just me. And I think that's the most heartbreaking thing, is knowing that it's just me now. I don't have anyone to talk to at the end of the day. I don't have anyone that I can reach out to. It's just me. And I wasn't ready for her to go. I needed her here still, but I know that with her being an emotional support animal, it was hard because I put so much on her. And maybe that was my fault. I should have never given her that burden. I should have never put her through that. But it's so crazy to me because I made that video explaining why I would never have another pet. Almost, it was like foreshadowing. Why I would never have another pet, and why, like, this was it for me. Like, Ishka was it. This was my kid. You can't just go replace your kid. Like, that's not how this works. And even my mom last night was like, "Oh, give it a few days, go to the pet store, just get another one." And I'm like, You just gonna pop out another kid and just start replacing us? Like, that's not how this works. I'm not getting another pet. I'm not. And what's crazy to me is the other day, I came in and I was talking to my friend. I saw this white feather on the floor. And anytime I've ever found a white feather, it means someone's dying. And I meant to call my mom, and I didn't. And that to me just says, like, it wasn't something on, like, mom's side of the family or dad's side of the family. It was my family, and that was Ishka. Ishka is my family. She is. That's my kid. Like, I can't use past tense terms right now. It's just not gonna happen. Ishka's my family. And then when we came back last night from the vet, I was talking to my friend again, and I looked down on the floor and was like, "That's not cool. That's not cool." I picked up another one. Like, that's, no, stop it. Don't approve. Not cool. And I understand that, like, she has down pillows, and it's very, very likely that a feather from a down pillow just ended up out here. She's like, "We really don't find feathers around the apartment." And I'm like, yeah, I figured. Because we also looked at the feathers inside of her pillows, and it wasn't the same. So there's that. But anyways, I have to go get ready for therapy. I have a lot to unload on this lady. I feel bad already. Like, there's just been so much happening in the last week that I don't even think daily therapy would have been a fix for this. But yeah, I don't know. I'll talk to you guys later, I guess. I just, now I'm done with my tears. Now I can wipe them off. I don't know. I'll talk to you guys later. Hopefully I'll have better news. Hopefully I'll have something more positive to say. Hey, got an apartment. Like, my credit score is garbage, and I really can't afford much, so I'm just hoping something somewhere pops up, because at this point, like, even though I've said it can't get any worse, I really feel like at this point it can't get any worse. Like, the death of my child is the worst. The actual worst. Like, I could lose my car today. I could lose everything I own today, and nothing will hurt me as bad as losing her. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say anymore. I really don't. I hate that this is how all of my videos are now. This is never what I intended for my channel, but at the same time, it's very, very unfortunately real. Anyways, thank you guys for watching and for your support through everything.